Hello, everyone. This is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of Eye of the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful Rabbit Hole, Lore and Frey, and the upcoming Jaw of the Dragon. I suppose I might as well release a statement on this now because it really needs to be said. And I've been waiting for, some Nintendo trailer or like some new information of Tears of the Kingdom to kind of talk about this, but I think I might as well go out and say this now is that right now there are a lot of pretendos out there, people like RGT85, people like Arlo, people like the usual suspects. I suppose we should just call them instead of just naming them every single time. But there are a lot of people out there right now who are trying to convince you that Tears of the Kingdom is not going to live up to the hype. You have people suggesting it was in development hell. You have people suggesting it had issues or some kind of severe development problem. You have people who think it won't live up to the original, and you have people who are still trying to pretend that the original Breath of the Wild was not particularly good to begin with, and that we need better dungeons or whatever. Or that Horizon Zero Dawn was the superior game. There's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of shit flinging. The establishment gaming press wants you to think that Resident Evil 4 remake is one of the best games of the year. That Starfield or Elder or whatever else is coming out this year is going to stop Tears of the Kingdom. I've seen people say that Elden Ring is going to stop Tears of the Kingdom in 2023, which is laughable considering Elden Ring couldn't even stop Breath of the Wild. Right? Breath of the Wild still has Elden Ring outsold by 10 million units, not even including the sales of the Wii U version. So, you know, Elden Ring, none of these games are even coming close to Zelda, right? It's not even close. The argument seems to be that Tears of the Kingdom is going to be a disappointment because Nintendo hasn't shown us anything yet. But the thing is, nobody knows anything about the game. So when we go into it, in May, it's going to be a completely new, fresh experience. There won't be people online making weird narratives or conspiracies based on 2 minutes of footage or whatever, because there is no footage, right? They're going to show a proper trailer, right? They're going to have a dedicated Nintendo Direct and just give us a brief overview of the game or a full blowout event. It's going to be extremely hype, and it's going to be extremely successful, right? I do think but Tears of the Kingdom is going to be far more successful than people are giving it credit for. I really do think that. A lot of people want to write this game off because it's Zelda, and Zelda is known by Nintendo, and Nintendo bad, but this is a sequel to Breath of the Wild, one of the best games ever made. I don't know why there's so much skepticism and just so much nonsense going around in the community about this particular release. All it is, what it feels like, is an attempt at downplaying Nintendo Switch in 2023. It feels like an attempt at downplaying the biggest game of the first half of the year by making up all these insane conspiracies about it, saying all this ridiculous nonsense, saying this, saying that, throwing everything they possibly can to downplay the game before it gets officially released. And that is a shame. It's this should be a period of time where we're looking forward to the game. It should be a period of time where we're speculating on it, or debating on whether or not Zelda will be playable, or what the story is going to be like, or how the map is going to be different, or what they're going to change up, what they could do gameplay wise. But instead, people are more focused on oh, is this going to be the last Switch game ever? Is it going to be just a glorified expansion pack? Is it going to be a disappointment? You have people just doing everything they possibly can to find something to complain about, and it's just we have nothing. When you get down to it, we haven't seen anything from the game, so there isn't really anything to complain about. The trailers look great. It's a sequel to the best game ever made. It's coming from Nintendo, so we have every expectation that this game is going to be top notch, and yet you still have this unnecessary skepticism towards a company that has shown over and over and over and over again that they are dedicated to producing high quality releases all year long, right? We can't expect Tears of the Kingdom, a high-profile release like this, to be exceptionally well-made and exceptionally good. The only issue I have going into this is that, I'm not sure whether or not I'll prefer this to Breath of the Wild. But, Breath of the Wild is one of the best games ever made. Is Tears of the Kingdom going to be better than that? I think that's kind of a stretch, but we'll have to see. But like at the same time, like I'm being reasonable about like, my expectations about this game, right? Like I'm not like hyping this game up, but I'm not like attacking it either, like so many people are, right? It just feels like 2 months away, like less than 2 months now, and we're still having these issues, these excuses, these justifications as to why we should like be angry at Nintendo for how they've handled the marketing for this game. But I really don't think so. I think this game, when they do finally show off everything, is going to be a very, very big deal. Far bigger than anything Elden Ring will ever produce.